Miss Karlene, so tell me a little bit about Operation Homefront.
Operation Homefront is an organization that helps military families overcome challenges by connecting them with valued and life changing programs and family events. Two of the events that we are going to be connecting with them this year is the back to school push, and then also for the holidays we'll be also coming together again with Operation Homefront, and hopefully we can come back onto the BO show and talk about how we're going to go down and not only just be among them, but feed them, celebrate Christmas with them, and be a part of their family. Because one of the things that we have to let the community know is that the slogan is "We serve too." So even though the person that's enlisted in the military is serving, their families are also serving as well. So when Elder Lyons comes, of course, he can speak more to that because he's actually lived that life. But being a part of a congregation where we're so heavily influenced by our military men and women, we want to let them know, as well as our community know, that we see them, we recognize them, we know that they're not just another part of the congregation. And so when we had the opportunity to connect with Operation Homefront and having the military ministry, it just made sense to us to come and be a part of this organization.
So this Operation Homefront is not just this one thing. You guys doing this every holiday, or when something that the military families need. Minister Lyons, he has more detail into the military life, but so this is a kind of big thing that y'all got started. So how long y'all been starting this? I mean, is this the first go around or?
Yes. So actually, we have to give, big shout out to Elder Keith Ingram. He was the one who sent me the video that was showing and showcasing what he was a part of last Christmas. And I was like, man, I wish we would have known this. We would have loved to have come and been a part of that, because we not only want to showcase and push Operation Homefront, but we want people to know that they need the volunteering in the hands of the community to come alongside and make these events honorable for the military family. So we're here to serve them. They're typically serving us. This is a time for the community to come and serve them. What we're here to talk about today is the school supply drive. So what their one of their two of their pushes is the school drive, as well as the holiday dinner that they celebrate. But we're coming alongside with them now. We know that school is getting ready to come back into play. We know that a lot of people are gearing up, and we know there are a lot of sales and things that are going on. But not just trying to give that all to Bethel Restoration Center to support. We want the community to support,
To get involved.
because
Yeah.
a lot of times you're like, man, I wish I would have known that this was going on or that was going on. I would have
Yeah.
loved to
Yeah.
buy some pencils or get some crayons. A lot of people who don't have younger children anymore, but they still want to support. They
Yeah.
still want to get in and to help. So what we're telling and what we're asking and what we're beseeching the community to do is to come alongside a Bethel Restoration Center, put your hands to the plow, and help us make this campaign not just one that we're just doing for this particular year, but for years to come. But we want, because your first fruit is always going to show what the rest of the years are going to be. So we
Right.
want this one to be humongous. We want the box to be overflowing, like our theme, the year of God's overflow.
Yeah.
So we want the boxes to be overflow. We want the doors of Bethel Restoration Center to be inundated with people stopping by and saying, Minister Greenhow, Elder Lyons, there were boxes dropped off
Let's
today
go.
of school supplies. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. And I can see it. I can see it happening because there's a lot of people that need that help. So if you out there, let me find my camera, y'all. Let me find my camera. Yo, so look, if you out there, look, I don't know where you're from. If you're from all the way from G side, or you down to Anderson Corner, man. Come on, let's come together. Let's help the military out, because they've been help keeping us safe. So let's go, man. Let's do this one right here. So let's get this going. Let's get this going. You know how this go, man. And everybody, man, come on, let's go. So we want to get everybody a super chance, man, to get in here and do something for the military. This is a big thing, and we're gonna bring Minister Lyons in, and he's gonna break this thing all the way down for you, more than I can do. But I'm gonna tell you, the brother is smart, the minister is smart. So let's go invite him in.
That's about
All right. Transition from military to civilian life can be a challenging process for many veterans. Here are some common difficulties that they may encounter. 1. Identity and purpose. Feeling the loss of structure. Also, identity crisis, too. Social and emotional adjustments, reconnecting with families and friends. Isolation, feeling of being misunderstood or isolated from those who haven't shared similar experiences can lead to a social withdrawal. 3, the financial hardship. Economic transition, going from a steady military income to an uncertain civilian employment can cause a financial stress. According to the NVHS, an article written by Greg McGinney, April 5th, 2022, veterans who do not receive the support and resources they need during this transition to civilian life may be at risk for additional hardship. For example, veterans who have trouble coping with the switch may turn to alcohol or drugs, potentially resulting in substance abuse problems. Further, feeling that isolation and mental issues have both linked to homelessness in the veteran population. Now, in fact, according to a 2019 survey, 47% of 9/11 veterans rated their transition from military to civilian life as being somewhat difficult to being very difficult. Now, I give my big shouts out to Bethel Restoration Center, connecting with Operation Homefront to give some relief to those men and women of the military. Now, Elder Lyons is going on right now. And we got Minister Lyons in the building. So, Minister.
Yeah, man.
Operation Homefront.
Uh-huh.
Talk to me, big dog. Talk to me.
Brian, first of all, thank you for allowing us the opportunity to come and be on this podcast. The WBF, man, you're doing amazing things in the community and out there in the ether lands, as we called it back in the day. But I think they got another name for it today. But, yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Operation Homefront is a national organization, and what they do is they go about and try to meet the needs, as Minister Karlene had spoken earlier, regarding the military families. And oftentimes there's the misconception that military families are not in need, that so much is already supplied for them. But what we've learned is that there are a tremendous amount of needs that are not being fulfilled in the military communities. And so Operation Homefront is not just here in Virginia, it's a national organization. They're in all 50 states. And then next year they're going to go and start working abroad, outside of the United States, in those military places all across the world.
Okay. And I ain't mean to cut you off. We're going to get back to how big this thing is, to that part. Okay. I want the people to grasp the realization of what's happening. So what's really happening then is about housing, it's about getting relocated after military to transition back into the world. I know how big this thing is, and I know how important this is, but this is also, I want people to understand why y'all doing this right now.
I feel you.
You understand? So just give us a little transition on what's happening outside once the military is over. And now you making that transition back into the real world. And why is Operation Homefront is so important?
Brian, the term there is called reintegration and reacclimation. And what that means is that when you leave an institution like the military, you have to reintegrate and reacclimate yourself to the society from which you are now coming from and into. And what the military has learned over the years very quickly is that there's a challenge for our military servicemen and women in that transition. The military life is very structured, it's very rigorous, it's very demanding, it's very disciplined. And so when you now come into a society where you have more freedom and more liberty, those men and women found out that they felt lost and they didn't have, that sense of structure that the military provided. And so Operation Homefront, what it does is it sits down with these men and women who are now going to be relocated from a military life to a civilian life, and it now teaches them those skill sets that are required so that they'll be able to make a better transition. And there are some very deep things that happens within those transitions when those servicemen and women are not ready for that adjustment. And so this operation tries to help and mitigate those very serious issues that come about in those transitional periods.
Well, look, you got Apple Pay? I'm going to go ahead. Hold on.
I wasn't ready.
I'm gonna go ahead and donate right now. Come on. You got Apple Pay?
Oh, bless you. Please,
come on.
We certainly can take all the donations that you can offer. Those families are really in tremendous need, and we're glad about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, nah, man, my bad. I ain't mean to cut. So now let's talk about how big this thing is. Like, I didn't mean to cut you up early, but I just want people to understand, like, this is a serious thing.
Yeah.
This is a serious thing. So.
And so, what we're learning is that within the church communities, and we've been doing military ministries at Bethel Restoration Center since 2005. And so I want to give a shout to Apostle Gray for having the sight to see the vision and
Come
to take
on.
it on and to see the need within the community. And we did something that it was very unique. It was only just a small amount of churches who would even consider that we need to have a specific targeted military ministry. So to get to the point, within your congregations, you have so many military members, but the congregation doesn't know because they're not in uniform. You don't see them coming in with their boots and they're not marching in and out, but they are full of churches are full of those military members. And so what we wanted to do is to give identity and recognition that, hey, we see you in the church congregation, and then as a church we can connect to that community, and so we can bridge that gap. And so now that the church is not just feeding them spiritually, which we know we have to do, but the Lord also says, when I was hungry you fed me, and when I was thirsty you gave me drink, and when I was sick you visited me, and that's in Matthew chapter 25. And you say, well, when did I do this? You did this when you did it to the least of them. And not necessarily that you are less of a person. It just means that we don't sometimes recognize the needs that are right within our congregation. And one of those specific needs is the military community. And so Operation Homefront, what we're trying to do is connect the need of the military with a specific targeted demographic, which is the church, and let them two come together. And now we can help each other. We can meet the needs of the military, but the military can help the church as well. And so we just wanted to be able to go out and do that. And that's what this is about in this campaign. We're going to meet those needs.
So, for real, because I think there's probably like a bunch of other people that's just like me. They're just like me that think like, well, man, the military, they good, man, they Gucci. You know what I'm saying? They good, like, you know, they don't want for nothing, they don't need for nothing. But I had it all wrong.
Well,
I had it all wrong.
It's amazing how the misconceptions are. And not only are there these tangible needs, like the back to school drive, and they're going on all over. It's not just the military. Of course, you're going to see it on the local news with your TV stations. They're going to have their big back-to-school drives. But they get to bring in these large sponsors. But we're trying to meet you at what we call boots on the ground. We're trying to do it at the ground level, right where you come every Sunday morning and fellowship with God. You can make a difference right then and there. And so it is our efforts through outreach ministry and military ministries, and with you now helping us here with this podcast
Let's go.
to get that information out there in the community and let the people know, come on, bring them book bags, bring them pencils, bring those
Come on,
erasers,
let's go.
bring all that you have. And if you don't have materials, yes, we would love to have your financial donations, and they're going to go straight to Operation Homefront, and they're going to be used in a very, very significant and impactful way.
Man, big shouts to my GOD. I'm just trying to tell you, man. I'm just trying to tell you that just even being in here and hearing this stuff about Operation Homefront, about the military, and they just like us.
Oh, that is rich, man. Can I borrow that? Hashtag that, whatever the new term is. Because they are just like
Come
us.
on, man. Let's
They're
go.
everyday people. Real quickly before, I don't want to take up much more of the time.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that passionately touches my heart about this ministry is the family members who are left behind when the active duty service member, doesn't matter, Air Force, Army, Navy, or Marines, they get deployed and they're gone off and they have to do what they're called to do, which is to protect us as a country. But there are members that are left back home. There are parents with children and they don't have any support. And then they come to church, but you don't know the weight that they're carrying. You don't understand that she or he, because it could be a active duty female who leaves the spouse, the male, behind. And they're struggling, trying to meet the everyday activities, just like you and me, of taking care of our families. But we tend to think that there's this magic umbrella that's just going to come in and do everything that they need, but they don't have their needs met, just like at times you struggle with yours. But I'll tell you something that I learned from the late Maya Angelou, and I think we all can agree, it takes a village to raise a family. And so we are here to be not the village people, but a community of people who are trying to reach out and make a difference.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And that is Minister Lyons, man. And y'all, Operation Homefront is going down. So I hope you guys can be there. and show some love and some support, man. Where do we take it? We drop it off at BRC?
Yes, 2 points there. Very good, because I was just thinking about that. We didn't tell them where they can go and support. But yes, you can drop your school supplies at Bethel Restoration Center, 6205 Richmond Road, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on August the 16th, if you want to volunteer and you want to go down with us, Minister Karlene and I are going to go down and support Operation Homefront in their collection, distribution, and disbursement event on that day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. There is a link that we can hook you up with, and you just go ahead and tap on that link, excuse me, and you can go ahead and make the registration form. So yes, please bring your supplies to Bethel Restoration Center, 6205 Richmond Road, right here in the city of Williamsburg, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Man, August 16th, it's going down the school supply drive, man. They need headphones, earbuds, hand sanitizer, box tissues, water bottles, Ziploc bags, everything, color pencils, graphic papers, dry erasers, spiral notebooks, rulers, loose leaf papers, crayon pencils. Yo, I'm telling you. Look, let's go to the dollar store, yo.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go get it. You know what I mean? But seriously though, they just like us, man. Come on, let's go. Let's do this, man. Pull your support in, man. You already know, man. If you have any questions, man, contact the church office at 757-220-5480. Or either go to www.bethelrestoration.net. They are located on 6205 Richmond Road, Williamsburg, Virginia, man, if you need to go drop it off. So you already know. I gave you the information. Miss Karlene was in the building. She gave you the information. Mr. Lyons is in the building. He gave the situation. Big shots to my GOD, man. You already know, man. We love y'all, man. Yo, peace.
Peace.